Hey guys, this is Jay, Twisted Christian. Hey, today I'm going to talk about what I've told you guys earlier in my last video about the Argentine Peso. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and discuss that today and go over the history and whether or not if you should, think about investing in their hard currency. So something that I'm thinking about, and you guys can judge for yourself and always do your own research. Don't listen listen to what I have to say, but then also do your own research. Look it up. Before we get started, I know I've gotten a lot of heat. Just I've only made a few Iraqi dinar videos, and those were pretty. I've only made a few Iraqi dinar videos, and I think that they were probably the most important points that I saw as far as in the dinar itself. And it was just something that just, putting all the pieces together. But I do my research, and this is my Facebook post from May 17th of 2017. It was just something in the regular stock markets. Currently was at 165. It's the Zion Oil and Gas. And expected to go over above $2. And if you got in at 107, you would do well. Currently at 165. And I just did my research on this company, and just to kind of show you the stock where it's at now, 386. So for those of you, I know I'm not saying I know what I talk about, but I do my research, and I'm very picky and choosy about what I'm getting into. Of course, looking into the medical cannabis, and there's just all types of so many other things that you can be investing in. And I wish I had taken, if I would have taken all the funds I had for the dinar that hasn't revalued yet, and if I would have put it in other things, I would not have to worry about whether or not if the Iraq dinar changes in value or not. So, but this is just one of them. So at the time when I posted it, it was at 165. So it's gone up, over $2 and some change, and I do expect it to go up even further than that. Do your own research. What goes up comes down, goes back up. So those things are very, you have to be very cautious about investing your money. And I'm the type of person I'm in it for the long run. Okay, and before we get started, I need to show you guys, because there's going to be people that are going to hate regardless of whatever you put up. So I need to show you guys that Forex. Forex exchange markets is a global decentralized and over-the-counter market for trading of world currencies. So world currency trading, hard currency, whether you're doing it on Forex or you're buying it and then turning it in at a later time, it's all done and people make money. So it is just one of the things that I do. There are some articles that you can find on Google that you can look up. Currency investing for small investors. There's a whole lot of other ones. Okay, so just in the news lately about the Argentina Peso, it's relatively has dropped tremendously over the last few years. Okay, and just looking at the current exchange rate for the Argentine Peso, as you see here, it's 3 cents per peso, so 3.037 cents currently for each peso. And just to kind of give you a background on the historical change rates, and you can go back, this is on Wikipedia, and you can see the different changes over the years. Okay, you can see how low it was, and then it's just over the last, 18 years, it's just kind of steadily just risen and risen and risen. Okay, as far as it falling against the dollar. All right, so is it a good time right now to invest in the Argentine peso? And see, that's what I'm looking at. Because I think that it'll actually go up faster than it'll actually go down. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. As you can see, it's taken some time to get there, but I think because of where the world economy is going, eventually this country will get it together. And then here's an article here: Argentina peso firms on central bank moves. Okay, so Argentina's peso firmed sharply as the new central bank chief took his first steps to shore up the battered currency, while escalating fears of a damaging trade war between the United States and China drove the Latin American stocks down. Okay, and then you guys can read I'll post the article so you guys can see it. You can read it all for yourself. Eventually, what's going on between the United States and China, eventually it'll blow over. They'll do their deals, and then eventually the stock markets will probably move forward on that, as well as the Argentine peso. You know, and this is what I'm looking at. And when I look at these things, okay, if I was to go out and buy, I don't know, $500 worth of Argentine pesos, so and, you know, how long am I going to look to see? You know, will it eventually go get stronger against the dollar? And of course, for some of you guys, some of you investors have thousands, maybe even millions. You can invest in probably almost anything that you want. But of course, I never, you know, even if I was a millionaire, I would put a lot into it. I might put like, you know, three or four, maybe $5,000 into something like this. You know, it's just another avenue. You should have multiple avenues, whether it's on the stock markets or Forex, hard currency, you know, whatever. So that's what I'm looking at. You know, and with the central bank is doing what it's doing here in Argentina to stop the currency tumble. So they got to stop it, and of course they're gonna say, well, what do we got to do to reverse it? You're just not going to stay in that condition. So eventually, the Argentine peso will go back up. I just don't know how long it's going to take. It could take 3 months, 6 months. It took a pretty long time for it. I mean, if you just go back to 18 years ago, that basically almost dollar for dollar. Then you go all the way down here to 2018, 18 years later. If you had bet against the currency to go down, well, yeah, you'd be sitting really good right now. But you see, just over the years, it's just slowly. But I think I think once they get their economy back up and going, I don't think it's going to take that long for this free-floating economy, this currency here to really go back up. If they're allowing the markets to determine, if Argentine central bank is allowing the markets to determine as far as currency up and down, as Forex and everything, and have a greater control over that, then I do expect it to go back up. And there's just just another chart. You can see just the dramatic drop against the dollar. Make sure, guys, always do your research. Tell me what you think about the Argentine currency. Go back to your research. Should we invest in the hard currency or go into Forex and trade the Argentine currency? Well, you guys let me know. You tell me what you think. This is something I've been looking into the last few weeks. I just happened to see an article on Google News, and that's what I do. I go to all the Google News, Yahoo News. I go to their business sites. I look at all the different things. Sometimes even the ads that pop up talking about, look at these 5 stocks, or what are these people doing to make money. So I do look into those things. So, but I did see an article about the Argentine in the central bank, and which kind of just took my interest into what's going on there. You guys tell me what you think about investing in the Argentine peso. All right, guys, this is Jay, Twisted Christian, and you guys have a good week.